I have returned to Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 1, night 1 of Night at the Namco Museum. What I'm looking to do here is a 5-part perspective, retrospective, whatever you want to call it, of all 5 Namco Museum volumes. So I actually own all 5 of these. I won't be playing them on the PlayStation. I've got an emulator set up, perfectly legal because I actually own them, and it's emulation. Do what you gotta do. So, what I'm planning on doing is playing through all 5 of the games in this set. I'm planning on playing eventually every game in all 5 sets, and kind of deciding by the end which games are really good, which games aren't worth it, and taking a trip down memory lane that might be a little further back than you realize. My phone is going off. My phone should be silent. Why is my phone not silent? It's even a Twitch thing. Why? You gotta be kidding me. So anyway, time to do the thing. What thing? Night at the Namco Museum, of course. For who to do the thing? Me! Swirly Glasses here in the building. And we're going to spend at least a decent amount of time on each game. Some of these games I might just play through a couple times if there's not really a whole lot to them. Or if they aren't really hooking me in, I might just play a couple times. But I plan on showing off a decent amount of the stuff that's in these collaborations. So let's see what happens. Let's get right into it. So in the Namco Museum games on the PlayStation, I know there's been a bunch of these on different consoles, but I really, truly feel like the PlayStation entries of Namco Museum are the ones that are to be most appreciated, most complete, most, trying to find the word. Words are failing me right now. But this, to me, is the crown jewel of the whole Namco Museum set. If you really want to play some awesome games and get some cool factoids behind them, this is the collection to go with. So, we're going to get right into it. That's a little Pac-Man to show when we're walking and running and doing things. So as you can see, cutting edge 1995 museum graphics. Welcome to the Namco Museum. There are 7 games exhibited in the museum. 7 games. You know what we are? Oh, my initials are already here. Actually, we're going to change that. Y'all don't need to know what my initials are. Actually, we're going to make that SG. There we go. SGV.
Swirly Glasses.
Real name, no gimmicks.
I'm glad I got the hidden one right out of the way. Alright, so whenever you walk into the museum, there's the lounge section, which has some different sound effects and things like that. Sounds, graphics, look up some data and stuff. And we'll look at that near the end because it's kind of boring without having played some of these games. Each of these rooms goes to a different game. Exit takes us right back to where we were. So our games in this collection are Toy Pop. I actually cannot even read what that is. Rally X, Pac-Man, Galaga, and Pole Position. I think we're just going to go right down the line here. First, we're going to start off with Toy Pop. I actually don't know a whole lot about this game. You know what helps, though? I don't know a whole lot about this game. Let's learn about it. You get to see these neat little graphics and these displays for each game. Neat. I don't know what any of that says. It's all Japanese. I can't read it. Vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream on sale. I don't want to say strawberry. I don't like it. And some paperwork, some Toy Pop stationery was apparently a popular merch item, or a merch item. I should probably not call it a popular merch item. I don't even know what this game is. Okay, here's an instruction card that would show how to play. Let's learn how to play. Okay, cool. So that's one kind of disadvantage to this first volume is a lot of the material is in Japanese, and the game doesn't really do a good job of explaining what it is, what it says. There are these little tip sections here and there, so that's neat. You can read these to kind of get an idea of what to do in each game, although there is a little out of context actually going on here because I really don't know what this game is, so... Open every box. Do this, because sometimes there is hidden stuff inside. Clear bonus. If you defeat every enemy, you'll get an all-clear bonus. Okay, so that's not how you beat a level then. I guess it's the end. Have each player use a different weapon so you can hit all enemies. I wonder if you play as both characters at the same time. Defeat Magician. You can get a 5,000... You can get a 5,000 points. You can get a 5,000 points by defeating him. Now, this is not going to be a rare occurrence in this, because there's actually a really bad one in Volume 5, and we'll go over that later. Collect the 7 or star when it appears on the screen. Only star bullets in the world and defeat Magician. We can get a 5,000 points. And if you really want to be a dork about this, you're going to look at the PC board. Yay! It's just really neat to see, like, they put that much stuff in here, and it's not something that's, like, super common in the other releases. There is this how to play section, though. To collect the hearts in the bottles to advance to the next level. The characters were cute, but they had a purpose. It's for 2 players. Is that the purpose? What was the purpose? Other than playing the game. I genuinely wonder if something didn't load here, because I'm not sure this is what this is supposed to look like. We'll have to check that later. Toy Pop time. I don't know what this game is. Let's find out together. Pino and Acha are going to Meijo's castle to save friend. There's actually some, like, slide physics if you get going too fast. Like, it doesn't stop on a dime. There is like a grid system, but like things can still happen within that grid. Okay, apparently 2 hits kills. Oh, you just go right back in the level. I am so good at this game. I think I might give this another go after this run, just to see what we got. Alright, we're gonna try that game again. Now that we got a better grip on what's going on here. So I can shoot through these boxes, and I'm supposed to get these hearts, so... But just remember to do that. Ought to be in good shape. Yeah, another way. There we go, I got a better grip on this now. I'm gonna guess that made me invisible. Except this car's got no problems chasing after me. I'm pretty sure this car can still see me, it's just not taking damage. Because this thing's kind of going where I'm going. I can't believe I walked right into that. Okay, so bombs blow up tanks, but bombs do not blow up cars. Note taken. As soon as that makes sense to any of you, let me know. Alright, I got a high score at least. Still got the bombs. How long do these power-ups go? Oh, they're tires now. I get 5 letters? There we go. And I actually don't know if I'm able to back out of this. I do know future Namco Museum games gave you that ability. I'm actually not sure if this one did. Currently, nothing I'm doing is working. I'm going to go ahead and do a soft reset. And we'll just do it that way. Alright, so the next game in the lineup is going to be the one we couldn't pronounce earlier. Can't tell what that is. So, and in this game, all these museum sections have the same base design for, like, the layout. That's going to change in future games, but for now, that's what we got. Bosconian, okay. I have heard of this game. I've not played it. We're about to change that. Okay, okay, I'm glad the door out is right there because this is actually super trippy. And the fact that my character looks down to view the arcade cabinet does not help. Gonna wait for the boot up sequence here. Anytime you booted up an arcade game back in the day, it went through this check sequence, and you had to wait for it to get to this point in order to actually play it, which...
Lost all. Alive, alive.
I actually don't know if I'm supposed to destroy those or not. Apparently
Alive,
so.
alive. Alive.
Okay, I am just supposed to destroy those.
Lost all.
I feel like I played a game similar to this where I was supposed to defend those posts, so that's why I'm like...
Alive.
Wasn't sure if I was playing that game again. I'm thinking of Sinistar, aren't I? I think I'm thinking of Sinistar. Down I go.
Lost all. Alive, alive. Alive, alive. Alive, alive. Battle station. Lost all.
This game isn't that bad. I might legit give this a couple more playthroughs before we move
Alive,
on.
alive.
Especially since I went down that easy in round 2. Jeez. Oh, I can continue from here. Okay.
Lost all. Alive, alive.
Birds! There we go.
Lost all.
Oh, serious? They're all just gonna be lined up like this? I feel like this is too easy.
Alive.
Apparently not.
Alive, alive. Lost all.
Now I guess I just roll up the other side here.
Alive, alive.
So I thought.
Lost all.
Now they're gonna be difficult about just running up the side?
Alive, alive.
There we go.
Lost all.
Oh, there's a decent amount of them this time.
Alive, alive.
Oh, now there's some coming from the side shooting missiles. Okay. That game is not half bad. I do think I'm going to let the timer run on this, though, and start a fresh run from the start. Then we'll move on from Bosconian. Bosconian?
Lost all. Alive, alive. Alive, alive.
Now this first level seems like dirt easy. It's almost like I'm learning as I play.
Lost all. Alive, alive. Alive, alive.
Dang it.
Lost all. Alive, alive. Alive, alive. Lost all. Alive, alive. Alive, alive.
Extra life for 20,000 points. Okay. Ah, come on.
Lost all.
Couldn't you just let me run down the middle and finish that, could you?
Alive, alive.
Hey, we did it!
Lost all.
We did win it despite dying.
Alive, alive.
That's Missily Boy again. The high score of the day.
Lost all.
Yeah, I keep forgetting there's no way to actually... Unless I'm missing something. There's no way to actually close out of the games in this first version. Alright, now we're going to move on to Rally X. This is a top-down racing game. And the fact they include this on here is kind of interesting when you've got pole position on this same collection. And you can tell clearly why one's remembered better than the other. Nothing against this game, but here in a little bit you'll see why people took pole position and ran with it. And I think they have both Rally X and New Rally X on this, apparently. So I'm not sure. I know there's some Namco games they did with two versions. Like there's two versions of my favorite Namco game of all time, Dig Dug 2. So in this game, it's a top-down racer. I have played this before. It's been a while, though, so I hope I can still remember it. You have to dodge enemies and obstacles, get 10 flags before you run out of fuel for your car. This game in its NES. Music. Oh yeah, there's some smoke bursts. I didn't know that was the... I forgot that was the thing. And you get as much of that as you need, but you don't get any, you lose fuel for using that. That's what I meant. I see that red flag is ×2, but I wonder if that's a higher amount if I wait until later to go after that flag. Some of these flags seem to kind of have random values tied to them. Eddie, the directions said to avoid rocks. What are you doing? Oh, apparently if I hit triangle on this one, suddenly we've got things. I was hitting triangle on the others and it wouldn't let me do it. That's interesting. Yes, the super flag is from... Smash's super flag is from Rally X. Okay, this is New Rally X. We were playing the classic Rally X and now we are looking at New Rally X. We're going to see what the differences are. Sometimes it's like updated tech and maybe the game moves a little smoother or maybe sounds a little better. Sometimes it's reorganized levels or adjusted values to make the game easier, sometimes harder. So we'll see. Right out of the gate on the boot here, I can tell some stuff's different. So I can tell just listening to it, some stuff's different. Music's radically different. bad if I kind of like the other music better? Is that seriously the sound of the smoke? Get that one out of the way now. Get a ton of points. That red car off me. Get this red car off me. Those cars are going to make getting that flag difficult. Those cars are going to make that flag difficult. And this is kind of neat right here because it does give you dip switch settings to like mess with different things. Switch the ability to pause the game on or off. How many lives you get. We're going to flip those on. Just do it. What are the terms for getting an extra life? And apparently we don't use 3, 4, or 8. Fun thing is, I have a controller that was specifically made by Namco for some of their games on PlayStation. I'll bring it out next week. The NegCon, which you might have seen a few things about. We're going to give Rally X one more try, and then we're going to move on to our next game. And that one is one that some of y'all might know. What are we doing on time? 35 minutes? I'm doing pretty good then. About where I thought I'd be. Ah! A rock snuck up on me and came out of nowhere. I'm gonna hold off on getting that S flag, see if maybe getting near the end will give me some more points. Maybe if I check some of the tips at the start, that would have helped me a little bit. I think I genuinely like the old classic Rally X better than the new. Okay, apparently that thing caught me. I didn't know it could catch up to me. maybe getting the S flag last would give me more points. There's got to be something to it. Challenging stage. Oh, holy smokes, we're going fast, boys. I also noticed 2 tiers of cars. I'm kind of sitting here wondering when those start moving. Game over on the bonus stage, ladies and gentlemen. Good times. That was a pretty fun game. Rally X, I was kind of disrespectful toward it. But that's pretty good. That might come away as my favorite game in this collection. Maybe. There's 2 heavy hitters coming up, and they're coming up right now, actually. First one is the OG. Aw, shit. Here comes Pac-Man. I don't think I gotta explain to anybody. Pac-Man. If you don't know who Pac-Man is, he's right there. He's right. I'm pointing, but you can't see what I'm pointing to. Actually, you can, because it's... Let me... Pac-Man is... that guy, right there. That's Pac-Man. Him. And nothing in these exhibits are interactive. You can just, like, walk in and play the game. It sounds like a nitpicky thing to complain about, but the first one I played of these was Namco Museum Volume 3, which... Let's talk about that for a minute. It's probably the most common version of any of the Namco museums. And that one's got interactive stuff in its exhibits, stuff that's just, you can go into extra rooms, and there's actually some neat bonuses. And if I remember to think of it, I'll pull those up when we get to Volume 3. But it's kind of weird to go back to Volume 1 and just see, yeah, here's a room, and here's the game, get to playing. So... But Volume 1 and 3 of Namco Museum are, on the PlayStation are actually pretty common, with Volume 3 specifically being possibly one of the most common games on the PlayStation 1. I think only, like, Gran Turismo 1 and maybe some other popular games would be more common than Namco Museum Volume 3. And then Namco Museum Volume 1 is also a really common game as well. Volume 2 and 4 are actually fairly uncommon considered, I remember when I got them, they were about $50, $60. They might have gone up since then. And then I got Volume 5 for $80, and I knew then it was a bargain because it is worth over $100, and it has been for a minute. I've seen it over $200 at times. So, anyway, first I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to step away, get a drink, take care of some things, and I will be right back in just a few minutes. And we're back with more Namco Museum, Night at the Namco Museum, Volume 1. So, we're going to play some Pac-Man now. Everyone knows Pac-Man. One of the most revolutionary, popular games in gaming history. It's hard to imagine where gaming is without Pac-Man. Namco's pride and joy, their main mascot, just celebrated an anniversary a few months ago. Point of the game is to eat the dots, stay away from the ghosts. Unless you eat a power pellet, then you want to eat them ghosts. Just like this. You get them all grouped up here. Usually snipe a bunch of them off at once. For a lot of points. I would like to get that fruit in the middle, but I'm not going to get it without dying, it seems. There have been many versions of Pac-Man, and we're going to play a decent handful of them here. There's Miss Pac-Man, which actually started as an unofficial clone from Midway, and then was eventually bought by Namco, and Namco now owns and has owned the rights to it for a while. However, there was a recent dispute involving the rights to Miss Pac-Man, and we'll discuss that when we get there. There's been Super Pac-Man, there's been Pac-Man Plus, there's been Pac-Man Jr., there's been Baby Pac-Man, which was a hybrid pinball arcade game. You actually played pinball, and it would affect the maze on the top screen. There was a screen and then a pinball field. And however you did it on the pinball field affected the top screen. It's kind of interesting. And then, of course, there's Pac-Man 2 on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. Maybe we play that someday on here. I don't know. Extra life. I also know there was a popular Turbo Pac-Man mod that would make Pac-Man move super fast, but the ghosts would move at a regular speed. I remember the Ameristar Casino near me would actually have one of the machines with the turbo mods on it, and that was actually fun as heck to play. It was actually where I first learned Pac-Man, and then I started playing normal Pac-Man, and it was like, kind of. That might have something to do with an angry Ed. Welcome in, by the way. Part of it was that, and part of it was also just, once you got to the later levels, the game was still hard because the ghosts would still speed up. You'd only have minimal time using the pellets. The later games was still kind of tough. Built into a hotel TV. I didn't know they had PlayStation games built into the hotel TVs. I remember when I was younger, we went to a hotel that had a Super Nintendo built into the TV, and it charged for that. And then there was another hotel near me that had one of the N64 rigs that have kind of become fairly sought-after collector's items. So, and like I said, we'll play Miss Pac-Man later, but if you want my verdict on Pac-Man versus Miss Pac-Man, it's Miss Pac-Man, and it's not even close. A 3DO console built into the TV, huh? I actually do have a 3DO. I've not played it too much. Maybe someday when I sit down and really get this rig set up and a stream setup that I like for streaming consoles, I might bust that out. We might play something. But I do have a 3DO. Oh, I thought that red one was going to cut me off there. Alright, the game's not giving me extra lives no more. Ah. I panicked. Also, this game doesn't let you... The Pac-Man specifically doesn't let you enter initials for high scores. You just have the high score up there on the board. Some of the Namco games will do that. Some of them will just have you enter initials. Some of them, like Toy Pop we saw earlier, let you enter 5 characters for your name. So that's kind of neat. What are our dip switch options on this one? Test switch on and off. We don't want to mess with that. That brings up a test pattern, then we got to reopen this menu. You know what? I can show it off one time. Okay, so the pad's just sound test, apparently. Give myself 3 lives or 5 lives, or 1 life, or 2. See, now this says points for extra, but yeah, I guess it'd be right. It'd be just 1. Okay, now this version does actually come with a, I've heard the term coined Tate mode, where if you set it to this mode and then turn it on, and it actually makes you go through this. This arcade vertical mode can be played by setting a horizontal monitor in the vertical position. This could cause the monitor to fall or cause an injury or monitor damage. Be careful. You actually have to hit the X button in order to go into this mode. And when you do, and it loads, we now have a vertical orientation. So this is how it would have looked. This would be, if you flipped it sideways, your monitor sideways, that would be the pretty close to the correct aspect ratio of an actual arcade cabinet. However, I'm not going to mess with that here. Actually, I might be able to with the emulator, but then I'd be messing with it the whole time while we're setting different games. So I'm not going to mess with it here. But it is a neat mode this game has, and apparently maybe just this game. Maybe there's a couple others that have it in this collection. But I know, going back to Volume 3, Volume 3 is the one I have the most experience with. Volume 3 has this mode for every game in the set. In fact, it's just there as an option. You don't have to do the dip switch business. So we're going to do one more round of Pac-Man, and then we're going to move on to the final 2 games for the night. I almost wonder if it uses a completely different emulated version of Pac-Man, because I'm noticing, like, the font is different. Like, not just scrunched, but genuinely different here. So I start to wonder. I didn't mean to eat that one so early, but we'll... at least get some points out of it. One other memory I had of Pac-Man is when the Xbox 360 came out and they had the Xbox Live Arcade. One of the first games on it was actually the original Pac-Man. You could play it on the Xbox Live Arcade. And I remember a bunch of articles talking about how one of the hardest achievements in the original, or on the Xbox Live Arcade at the time, achievements were brand new to the 360. And one of the toughest ones, some even declared it the toughest one, was to have one perfect round of Pac-Man, meaning you eat all of the dots, you eat both of the fruits, you do not die, and you eat all 4 ghosts with all 4 pellets. And I remember only needing like a couple tries to do it, but I think at the time I played a decent amount of Pac-Man in the arcades. I think my, the aforementioned Ameristar Casino arcade had the Turbo Pac-Man mod, but I think they might have had, or the setting for it, because I think they had one of those combination Miss Pac-Man, Galaga Pac-Man machines. I thought I could cut that corner there. Come on. So I remember it not taking me too many tries to do that. I just thought it was weird that it was like the hardest achievement on all of Xbox Live. And it's like, not. I mean, there's a few of them on there now that are impossible to get because they tied them onto online servers or modes that ended up not being that popular. I remember one of them was for the Xbox 360 version of Burnout 3, where you had to get like 250 thumbs up or 250 like cool ratings or whatever on a replay, and like 9 people ever got that many reactions on a replay that they uploaded. So they keep sniping me at these corners. I guess sniping's not the correct term, but so that's Pac-Man. The man, the pack, man-pack. Time to leave home, Pac-Man. And actually, before we move on, let's take a quick look at the lounge, just to show y'all some of that stuff. So the lounge actually has some fairly neat stuff. It has covers of NG Magazine, a video game magazine Namco put out in the 80s and 90s. I think it went into the 90s, but not long after that. This would have been issue number 1 with Xevious on the cover. Issue 2 has Mappy in it, and we'll play Mappy next time on Volume 2, I believe. More just Namco characters altogether. But we'll see some of these covers, some more of these later. Because it kind of gets interesting. Libble Rabble, I think we will play that later. I think that's on one of these collections. I'm not 100% sure. Gapless, we'll hit that. Tower of Druaga. This game, Namco shoved down people's throats pretty hard. And when we get to Volume 3, you'll see. Volume 3 has Tower of Druaga on it. And they were banking on that hard. How successful they were, I don't know. Because in America, Tower of Druaga is basically an anomaly. Like, no one knows what that game is. In Japan, well enough to have an anime in the 2010s, maybe late 2000s. I know there was an anime for it, and according to my brother, it's supposed to be halfway decent. I kind of want to see it. Pac-Land, I believe that's one we're going to come out with later. There you go. It just said the NG magazine was out until '93. So those are kind of neat. Official Namco Museum paper. Huh. There's mappy stuff. There's whatever in God's name that is. Actually don't know what this is. Oh, these are game stats, right. Shows you how much time each game's been played, high score. Pretty neat. This is the jukebox. You can listen to different stuff from each game. Guess what we're playing next, boys? That's the next game up. We'll see how that goes. Alright. Next up, Galaga. Now, unless I have some sort of this game's not as good as I remember it moment, I'm probably going to come away with the impression that this is the best game in Volume 1. Galaga, in my opinion, is maybe the second best arcade game from the 80s, if not the best. I likes me some Dig Dug 2, I gotta be honest, which I'm actually disappointed we're not gonna play Dig Dug 2 in the Namco Museum anthology here. They didn't show up in any of them until... I'm trying to remember which one it showed up in first, whether it was the 360 one or if it was the DS Namco Museums. But Dig Dug 2 does not show up in the PlayStation Namco Museum games. But we do get Galaga. And Galaga is fantastic. It's kind of getting dark in here. I hope they don't make me look... Oh, that makes me look terrible. Oh, it's evening out, I think. So, here's how Galaga works. There's bugs. I don't like them. Except this one can take one of your ships. But if you can kill it without destroying your ship... Now we got double ships. Now we're gonna wreck stuff. That or it's gonna end quickly. I can't believe I let those go. That was almost a perfect run. I only missed those two. All one of these shots had to do was just hit the target. Already got an extra life. Good job. Though at this point, I think I need to get a lot of points to get extra lives. And we've just kissed the ship goodbye, so now we're back to a single ship. Now we're back to a zero ship. Zero ship Samus. There we go. On to round 4. Round 5, excuse me. Round 3 was the bonus stage. Now what's interesting is, even though this is volume 1, you'd think this collection was in like some kind of chronological order. And I just lost 2 ships back to back pretty damn quick, boys. But volume 3, we're actually going to get to play the game before this in the collection, Galaxian. At least I think it was before this, because if it wasn't before this, then that's embarrassing, because Galaxian is very clunky and very much slower paced, and in my opinion, nowhere even close to being as good as Galaga. We're going to give this one more run. We're going to move on to our final game of the night, and we're going to wrap things up. Oh. Little lag pocket there, but I think we're good. Let me take that, but hope I don't botch it here in a minute. And I ended the round. Come on, really? How am I letting them go worse this time? At least they get that extra life. Okay, this is where we bid it last time, and we bid it fast here. So hopefully having the double ships might help a little bit. Hopefully we don't lose it too quick either. Well, I did get a new high score at least. Though completing these later stages with only one ship is going to be interesting. Okay, another challenge stage. I don't feel comfortable with this. Got out of that one pretty good. Okay, so they have a ton of ships up there. I was kind of trapped there. There we go. I was going to say, let me get 5,000. Alright, that's going to be ball game for Galaga. Amazing game. I love it. When it comes to classic arcade games, Galaga is at the top. How are we doing on time here? Alright, we're going to wrap up here in about an hour and a half, I think. Or we're going to have this stream be wrapped up in an hour and a half because pole position, I don't think we're going to play very long. Pole position is a very quick game that it's definitely, I feel like, more famous for the benchmarks that it's set than actually being a fun game. But our final game of the night, the final game in Namco Museum Volume 1 is Pole Position. It is a racing game. Explosions. There we go. And how this racing game works is you basically race around a track. First, you qualify on the track. And there's only one course in Pole Position 1. Pole Position 2, which we will play later, has multiple courses to choose from. This one just has the one Namco circuit, which I do believe is supposed to resemble a particular race track, but I'm having trouble remembering off the top of my head which one that would be. But we're going to get right into it. Right out. So you start off in low gear, you hit the other buttons to go into high gear. You want to wait until you're close to max speed. Not all these turns are safe to take in high gear, but some of them are. If you don't qualify with a good enough time to get onto the starting grid, you just keep redoing this lap until you either run out of time or get a qualifying time. It's going to be good enough to qualify. Back of the pack, but I will take it. And we explode. That was a show on G4 extended play. Actually, I think it was X-Play by then. That went pretty good. For having not played this game very much, I mean. Alright. Back to more in just a moment. I forgot to give that a win for getting a high score. We heard that one already. I think we did. Give me another one. No, another one! We'll deal with that. Alright, I'm gonna let you try that one more time. There we go. There used to be on the arcade version a speaker that would actually tell you, like, prepare to qualify, and would give you, like, events going on in the race. I can't remember if Pole Position 2 on the Namco Museum Collection adds that back in. I know later versions of Namco Museum with the Pole Position games would have that added in. But this one does not have it. I don't feel like I'm going to qualify on this one because this is not going well. Yep, it's going to make me keep playing, which means I'm probably not qualifying. We're going to try that one more time. Right into the billboard. But Clyde. I think that billboard was supposed to be like a thing for the Pac-Man cartoon. I don't know if Buck Clyde was like a catchphrase or... Go back to the race. Let's see if we can do a little better than last time. Okay, we avoided the billboard we hit last time. But we lost so much speed, we might as well have hit it. Okay, new high score. That's good. Ah, finish line was right up there. All right. Well, that was a high score, so... I think that will do it for tonight, folks. That was Namco Museum Volume 1. Next week, we're going to take a look at Volume 2. Some of the games on there. So, that'll do it. I want to thank you all for coming out, those of you that did. And even those of you that didn't or are checking this out after the fact, thank you for checking out my streams. I'm glad to be back to streaming. I don't know how much of a regular basis thing I'm going to make it, but it's kind of neat to finally just jump back into it. I kind of left the streaming world on messy terms last time, and you know what? That was then, and this is now. So, you know, thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Remember that you are loved, you are appreciated, and you matter. See you next time.